Hello, everybody.
Hey, everyone.
You guys are excited to come and talk to you and have a really frank conversation tonight about what is actually keeping you, or what might actually be keeping you stuck in your business, okay? We're going to be discussing one of the top things that keeps most entrepreneurs stuck at some point in their entrepreneurial journey, and the answer of what it is might surprise you. Plus, we're going to be giving you one simple question to ask yourself to get clear on how it may be affecting you.
Yeah, and this is something that kind of affects everybody at maybe the beginning, maybe midway through. I mean, at all different levels of business.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we see people that are just entrepreneurs that are just getting started that find themselves stuck with this. And we also see entrepreneurs that actually are making a lot of money that finally get stuck in this situation. So.
Yes, and it's a very interesting thing to consider
Mm-hmm.
because what's the purpose in you having a business anyways?
Yeah.
Okay, what is it that you're doing this for? A lot of times when we have these kinds of conversations, we're talking about what is that motivating factor for you? Okay, what is that impact you want to have in your life? What is that legacy that you want to have? Okay, does this resonate with you? Let me know in the comments if this is resonating with you, if this is what it is that you got in business for. To create a more stable future for your family, to be able to afford your children to do more things than maybe they are right now.
Yeah, maybe have those experiences that a lot of children don't get to have.
And I know for us, that was a big piece
of ours. Yep.
Of what we got into business for, is because we wanted to have an opportunity to allow our children to have a broader range of choices.
Yes.
Okay. We wanted them to be able to have more than we had. Okay, to be able to identify for themselves as they became young adults what that was for them. Okay, they've had experiences already as kids, as teenagers and things like that. So as they stepped out into the adult world, to have a better handle on what it is that they really truly wanted to do with their life. Okay, that was the purpose behind us getting started in the beginning. Okay?
Maybe yours is simply just to bring in a little extra income. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
yours is simply to get out of a job
Mm-hmm.
that you hate. Okay, and so you're looking to replace your income or exceed, hopefully, your income with your job so that you can enjoy the life that you want to live on your terms when you want to live it, right?
Okay, and let us know if this is resonating with you, because typically this is when we work with clients, this is the conversations that we have is, what is it that you're doing this for? What is that deep-seated purpose that is propelling you forward during those hard things? We've done many trainings on this, okay, but what we haven't addressed is one of the fundamental things that keeps you stuck.
Yes.
It's almost a self-sabotage. You want all these amazing things. You're striving for, a change in lifestyle, a change in your world, okay? You want to custom craft that the way that you want to spend time with those that you want, to have the experiences that you want, to have the choices and the freedom that you want.
Yeah.
Yet you find yourself maybe finding yourself stuck.
Yes.
You want these things, you're doing the things, you're not getting the things, and you feel like you're on the hamster wheel that just won't end, and you're feeling stuck. So let's get really, this is going to get a little heavy, okay? So stay with us. But one of the things that we've noticed that is similar in very many, and many entrepreneurs that we've talked with, okay? And we're talking about people who are just starting out, like Tim said, who just bought maybe their first distributor kit, or they're looking to buy into a franchise, or they're doing direct sales. Okay, it depends on what it is that they want to do. And also some of the higher level entrepreneurs who are making multiple millions, 7 to 9 figure earners, okay? It affects each one of these entrepreneurs and everybody in between, but a little bit differently.
Yes.
Okay, and the thing that we're talking about tonight is, what is it that you believe about money? Okay, that was an interesting question that I was asked not too long ago, and I'm like, what do I believe about money?
And the interesting thing is we don't really think about it much, right? Like we get into business as an entrepreneur and we're like, well, I need, we're going to make some money. I need to make some extra money so that I can have that purpose or that passion or whatever it is that you got into business for.
Yep.
You have to have that tool, right, of money to get to that level. I mean, that is the idea behind it. So but we've never actually sat down and answered that question that Becky just posed of what is your belief in money?
Yeah, what do you believe about money?
Have you ever, sat back and actually thought about that?
Okay, and so that's one question that I'd like you to write down, okay, is what do I believe about money? And it may simply be, the quick answer is freedom. Money needs freedom, okay? But that's great. and it means different things to different people. But this is where you want to hone in and get really clear on what your beliefs about money might be, and ask yourself, do I have a positive view of money, or do I feel like it's more of a negative thing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And the difference between the two is very minute. It's just a shift. Okay. But as Tim and I have talked before in our entrepreneurial journey, money was a very negative thing for me. When I look back to thinking about how I viewed it, I didn't grow up extremely wealthy. We had everything that we needed. We had great life experiences. I had a great childhood, and all those things were wonderful. But I had never actually considered what money meant to me. It was just something that I needed to have. I needed to have a job so that I could pay for necessities. I needed to have, a spouse who had a job to pay for necessities. But it truly was just that. It was just like, oh, I just need it. But go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say, when we both kind of sat down and ran through this exercise, that's what kind of came up for both of us. It was that necessary, almost evil, if you will, if you've heard that term.
The root of all money, the root of all evil. Money is the root of all evil. Is that the one I'm talking about?
Okay, or that it was just that necessary evil. It was that necessary thing that we have to be able to go throughout our day-to-day lives, right? It's something we have to have, and so you almost look at it like it's a have to. I have to have it. It's a chore, and there's that negative connotation that comes with it.
Have you ever felt, oh man, I just don't want to go to work today, but I have
Like
to
every day.
because if I don't, I won't be able to pay my mortgage, or I won't be able to put food on the table, or I won't be able to do, the list is endless. Okay.
Yeah.
So are we coming from a place of money is something that we have to have because it is a drudgery, and if we don't have it, then our life is less than ideal. Okay. Is it a tool that you're begrudgingly having to have access to? And that is a real legitimate question to ask yourself.
Absolutely.
Do you view money that way?
Well, and here's the thing is if you're just getting started in the entrepreneurial world,
Mm-hmm.
okay, and you're coming from, let's say, a job, okay, and you have that negative connotation about money and how it looks, it's just that necessary evil, it drags me out of bed every day to go to that job, and you come into a business with that same outlook, maybe you're not consciously going, well, and you're not in that attitude, but it does, you guys, what we tell ourselves in that subconscious, it does affect how we show up. It does affect how our business is going to be either successful or not successful. So this is really a barrier, a block, and a belief that we have in our own minds that we have to really work through and either change that belief or get clear on exactly what it is, our belief about money, okay, and what that might look like moving forward, so that we have an idea when we get into business where we're starting at and where we can go with it.
And to drive that point just a little bit more is, if you don't know what you believe about money, then how can you truly create a plan for your business that is going to satisfy and enhance that belief?
Yep. Okay.
Can you imagine feeling negative towards money and attempting to build a business? How much harder is that going to be? It's like climbing up a hill with a rock pack on your back, okay? Constantly feeling like, I've got to do this because I need to make this. I got to do this because if I don't, all of the negative things.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, what might happen if you discover what value money could bring to your life?
Yes.
What value it is, whether you have a lot right now or you have a little bit right now, how you view money is directly impacting your life.
Yeah.
And it was kind of crazy, and you may be like, I don't know if this makes sense, but excuse me. I was actually just reading a book. I'm about halfway through. It's called Smart Women Finish Rich. And there's actually another book that's called Smart Couples Finish Rich. And the purpose of me reading this is we work with, and I, in a separate venture, work really close with women. Women are typically the prime entrepreneur out there. And it was very interesting to consider how we as women, and also just as people, view money and how it fuels us, okay? We want to have it. We want to have the lifestyle. We want to have all the things. And yet what we truly desire is not necessarily monetary.
Yeah.
Money is the key. It is the gateway. It opens doors and windows for us to get to that thing that we want. It provides freedom. For some people. For other people, it provides security. For other people, it may provide travel, okay, which is deeper connections and experiences. But if we're looking at it from a place of it's something that maybe you've never had before, and so you're used to growing up not thinking about gaining more wealth from how does it impact me and what value does it bring to my life, instead of, oh, it'd be nice to have a new house and a nice car and be able to go shopping all the time. But truly, what does it mean to you at the core? Okay, what are your beliefs about money, and what does that money, what's the value that it brings to your life?
And that is the key, you guys, is to actually take a look at, and when you start writing down what, your belief about money, I encourage you guys to dig deeper, right? Not just surface level of, oh, it provides freedom.
What does that look
Or
like?
freedom, great. Well, what is freedom? For you, is that being able to travel the world? Is that being able to buy that house that you want? Is it being able to, whatever that thing is for you? I encourage you guys to dive a little deeper. What does freedom really mean? And then when you get there, okay, maybe it's that, freedom is to go and do whatever I want when I want. Okay, what would you do? Okay, dive a little bit deeper. What would I do? Where would I go? Okay, once I get there, what would I do once I'm there? Okay, really hone in on what exactly it is that is driving you. And once you do that, like Becky's talking about, it helps you really define your value around money, because money is really just the key to get you there. It is that byproduct of what it is you're going to do in your business that is going to get you to the opportunity to where you can do those travels, okay? You can have the things that you want. But when you really sit down and you write these out on paper and you really get clear on your belief about money, and then what is the value that it can provide, what it really can unlock for you, it's that key, then you have that really motivating factor that will help you drive forward in your business.
Yeah, because if you know what your core drivers are, if you know what you value most in this world, okay, the byproduct of having money, the byproduct of travel, the byproduct of the experiences, what that really is, that core deep down thing, once you can connect and get clear on that, the rest of the stress can kind of fall away, because you're not looking at it from a place of lack. It's from a place of abundance and opportunity, instead of all of these barriers that are in my way. And when we're talking about these entrepreneurs that are, multi-millionaires, okay, 7 to 9
ones that
figures,
have technically in a lot of people's minds already made it.
Yeah, they honestly, you guys, they are human beings just like us, and they get stuck in the same kind of thing. It's not so much like, oh my gosh, I need to hit that number, but now they've become defined by the number.
Yep.
So can you imagine saying, let's say you've hit where you want in your business, okay? And you can't get past that, and you're wanting to increase because you want to give back more. You have a foundation that you want to support. There's other things you want to do, but it requires just a little bit more increase. Okay, you've got to be able to open yourself up to receive more so that you can give more. And yet you feel like you're only worth, and you can only do what you've already done. That's what
it's kind of crazy, because it seems like the more money that you make, you actually get, like Becky's mentioned, you get kind of defined by that number. And so it's actually, it's what we see with these entrepreneurs is once they reach like that $1 million mark, it is harder for them to break through that glass ceiling to actually raise up to that next mark. Maybe it's 5 million. That's where they want to go to. And then they get stuck at that 5 million mark. There are different waypoints as you go up through the money-making process, through your business, that you will find yourself getting stuck. And it's actually harder and harder once you reach that level to break through that ceiling to that next level.
And we call that the glass ceiling, because you can look up and you can see the process and you can see where you want to go, but there's something keeping you stuck.
Yep.
And 9 times out of 10, it can be distilled down to either your belief about money or your belief about yourself. Okay. And what those two do hand in hand is super powerful. Okay. So the one question to ask yourself to get clear on how money is affecting you is simply, what do I believe about money?
Yep.
And write it down. And don't judge it. First thing that comes to mind, what is money? What do I believe about money? And then ask yourself,
what's working for me?
Well,
first.
Is it working for me? But also, what's important about that? Okay, what's important about money? Freedom. Okay, what's important about freedom to me? It means that I can go traveling when I want. What's important about traveling when you want? What allows me to have experiences? Well, what's important about having experiences? It allows me to connect with other people and form deeper relationships. What's important about having deeper relationships for you? Well, I can start having an impact. Well, what's important about having an impact for you? Do you see how this works? How I'm modeling that? Going through that process allows you to identify what you value most in this life. It's not tied to money necessarily. The root of it is, because money is the key that will allow you to enhance those values.
Yep.
But if you're not clear on how you view money or what you believe about it, you will find yourself self-sabotaging because you'll either feel that it's subconsciously a negative thing that you may not have been aware of. And so subconsciously, you don't know how to receive something that's negative. Okay? You don't know how to open yourself up for abundance. Even though you may be doing all the things that are positive, if you have one little lock on your belief about what you're receiving, it can cause the rest of the mountain to slide down on top of you. Okay,
Exactly.
This is a very key, important piece for you to understand and to get curious about.
Yep.
Identify for yourself, what is it that you believe? And then from there, once you've gone through the values and you've identified them, you can filter everything that you're doing and ask yourself, is what I'm doing helping me to get closer to or enhance these things that I value most in my life?
Yep.
If they are, fantastic, you're on the right track. If they're not, what might you start to do a little bit differently to fine tune that so that they
Exactly.
are? Okay, you guys, we appreciate you
Yep.
spending some time with us. Thank you for all the hearts, loves, and likes as they
Yes.
came through, and we look forward to chatting with you next time.
You guys
Take
take
care.
care.
See
See you
ya.
later.